just now. So this is Patrick, who's just finished the 4-day funeral celebrant course in February 2023. He's been getting his one-to-one feedback, which is feedback from his peers who were all present during his final presentation, and feedback from me, and then we went over his draft, and it was all really good. He did really, really great. But then he was saying really nice things about the training, so I just grabbed the opportunity to have him say it on, recorded, so that I can share it with all you folks. So tell us, you were just saying that sometimes when you're on training, you zone out a bit, but you didn't do that in our course. So tell us about
that. I found that over the years I've been in many courses, and I was memorized the best word, mesmerized, I should say. I think I took it all in because you presented it so well, and I think if you've got someone that can present it so well, you can take more in and you can absorb more, and it goes into your brain more than usual. So you're a bit of an expert in what you do. But it's certainly made me, absorb most of it.
Good, because there's a lot to absorb, right? Because I always like to balance the nice stuff that everybody always says with the fact that it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah. Well, I always look back when I was at Tech College when I was young, and the teacher would be there, and I don't know that you're either experienced at being a teaching or you're not, but I used to sit and look out the window and being a dream. But with your course, it was the total opposite. I was really, I was in there with you. However you were presenting it, it was like I was there with you because it was presented so well.
That's great. I was just thinking if you'd been sitting looking out the window, they'd thrown something at you. And you're a comedian, right? So this was a completely different environment because you're used to getting up.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a much more difficult job, getting up and trying to make people laugh from start to finish. But this was a really different environment for you, getting up there and as you say, just being yourself.
Yeah, I think I go when I'm doing comedy, I've got the character Patrice, and as I was saying to you, I think maybe I hide behind that a wee bit, which gives me more confidence. But being myself is I think it's a totally different thing, but it's different because stand up, I can make a mistake and I can turn it around and get out of it pretty quick. But with this, you can't really make a mistake because you've got a family. It's most important, one of the most important days of their life. Yeah. So I think that's what you realise, that you can't get out of it and make a joke or even a mistake. You need to get through it and complete the day for them.
Yeah, you need to be holding that space for the family in the right way.
But your confidence comes across with, you've obviously done a lot, but you can see the confidence oozing out of you. And I think the whole class and all the classes that you take would agree with me that it's very good.
Well, that's very nice. There's certainly something oozing out of me.
And you get a laugh as well. That's a good thing.
And we get a laugh. We did. We had a great laugh. It was a great group. But do you feel prepared to go out and start engaging? Yeah.
It's certainly done a lot for my confidence. So being a celebrant. But yeah, I think obviously like anything else, it's going to take a few to get you really confident.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think the more it comes. I mean, here's a simple, silly thing that you might think is silly, but it's an important thing is me getting it right and being where the funeral director wants you to be and sitting in the proper place and things like that, instead of looking a bit silly because you're standing in the wrong position or something. I know it would sound to you it was pretty silly.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound silly at all, and it's a great point to make because there's so many moving parts to this work, right? That you just cannot prepare for every single one. A lot of it, you have to learn that there and then in the field. And my very first ceremony, my very first funeral service, which was down in Clydebank crematorium, and I had no idea where I was to stand, and I had to say to the funeral director, where am I supposed to be? And she said, oh, just stand here beside me. And I just kind of let her guide me all the way through it, you know. And once everybody was in, she was going, right, on you go then, go and take the ceremony. So yeah, it was certainly a baptism of fire and learning as you go. But that'll come. Those wee things will come. The most important thing is you have the foundations right. There was such a change in the 6 of you over the course of the 4 days, and I think you'll agree with that. And everybody,
definitely.
the confidence levels and the way people were holding space, just there was such a difference. It was great. But your final presentation was just amazing, and the feedback reflects that. So you've got that bit right, and that's a big part of it. So listen, I'm going to stop the record now. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.